You
Top
start
of
reading.
engine, no moisture or fluid. Top, bottom radiator hoses, clamps are tight, no cracks, no leaks. Heater hoses, clamps tight, no cracks, no leaks. Windshield washer fluid, appropriate level. Fan, no missing fins, no cracks. Serpentine belt, tensioners keep tight, less than ½ inch play, no cracks or frays. Alternator, it's belt driven, tight, wiring connections are tight. Water pump, belt driven, it's tight, no leaks. Turbo, tight, no oil leaking. Air cleaner, filter is not blocked, sight glass is clear.
All right, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay, we're going to start with the frame.
Go ahead. Go ahead in the frame.
When he's ready.
Go ahead.
Frame, no cracks, no welds. Shackles, tight, front and rear. Front springs, no cracks, no leaves are missing. Shock, top and bottom mounts are tight, no leaks. U-bolts, no cracks, no rust trails, nuts is tight. Brake hoses, no leaks. ABS line is connected and no cuts. Brake chamber, no dents and it's tight. Slack adjuster, 1-inch movement, push rod not bent or broken. Brake shoes, minimum of 1/4-inch pad, no cracks. Brake drums, no cracks, no grease or oil. Inner outer bearing seal, they're tight and no leaks. Inner outer tread of tire, no bulges or cuts. Gauge is 100 psi, minimum of 4/32 tread on front. Inner outer rims, no cracks or dents. Lug nuts, they're tight, no rust trails. Mud flap is tight, no tears. Hood hinges and springs are tight, spring cables are tight. I will check everything on the other side as the other, but I will tell you what is different.
Okay, go for it.
Wiring and wiring harness is tight, no loose ends.
Transmission fluid, engine oil, power steering, and radiator coolant touching the dipsticks and caps as you say it. I have proper levels.
Power steering pump, it's gear driven, it's tight, hose not leaking. Air compressor, gear driven. Copper line has no leaks, no oil leaks, tight. Steering shaft and universal, it's tight, not bent or worn.
Pitman arm, drag link, and steering knuckle. They are tight, the castle nut and cotter key are present, and it's not worn. Below, we have the steering arm, it's not bent, and the tie rod is not worn. Shut the hood, latching both hood locks. Turn the bus on and turn on headlights, hazards, and student warning lights. They'll be red because the door is open. Red student warning lights. They're on, correct color, clean. Amber student warning lights. They're correct color and they're clean. Amber clearance lights along the top. They're on, correct color, clean. Front hazard lights. They're on, correct color, clean. Headlamps. They're on, correct color, and they're clean. 4 mirrors. Touch all 4 to make sure the bracket is tight and the mirror is clean. Up top, we have the side clearance lights. They are amber, amber, and red. They are on, correct color, clean. Side reflectors, the first amber one in the headlamp, then the side amber and the rear red. Those reflectors are present, correct color, and clean. Battery compartment inside, the clamps are tight and the cables are not corroded. The stop sign, it is out and flashing with no leaks and is the correct color. Underneath the side of the bus, we're going to again check that the frame has no cracks. We're going to check that air lines, tanks, and dryer, we see and hear no leaks. In the exhaust, it is tight, there's no soot, and no leaks. Further back, we have the drive shafts, carrier bearing, and U-joint. They are tight, the bearing is not worn, and the drive shafts are not bent. Around the rear axle, you must say what you said for the front axle. We'll go frame out again. Everything about the suspension, then brakes, then wheels, and then the mud flaps. You cannot see the parts, but imagine what you can see on the front and point. Airbag and mounts. It is tight with no leaks. Torque rod. It is not broken or worn. The shock. The top and bottom mounts are tight, no leaks. U-bolts. There are no cracks and no rust trails on the nuts. Air brake hoses. No leaks. ABS line is connected. Brake chamber. There's no dents and no rust. Slack adjuster. There's 1 inch of movement and the push rod is not bent or broken. Brake shoes. There's a minimum of 1/4 inch of pad left and there is no cracks. Brake drums. There's no cracks, there's no grease or oil. Inner and outer seals. They are tight with no leaks. Inner and outer and treads of both tires. There are no bulges or cuts. They are at 100 psi and there's a minimum 2 30-seconds tread. Inner and outer of both wheels. There are no cracks, no dents, and they are butted wheels. Lug nuts. They are tight with no rust trails. Lastly, the mud flap. It is tight with no tears.
Red student warning lights. You got 2 of them. They're on, correct color, and clean. Amber student lights. You got 2 of them, correct color, and clean. Red clearance lights. You got 5 of them. On, correct color, and clean. Rear hazard lights. You got 2 of them. They're on, correct color, and clean. Reverse lights. You have 2 of them. Correct color and clean. Tail lights. You got 4 of them. They're on, correct color, and clean. Rear reflectors. You got 2 of them. They're clean and correct color. Emergency door. Opens from the outside. Lights and buzzer come on. Door hardware glass is not broken or worn. Area of bus is clean. Okay, that's it. Okay.
You must say, I will check everything on this side of the bus as I did the other side, but I will tell you what is different. And then look high at all the lights and around the rear axle. Open the fuel door and check the cap, tank mounts, and cage. Everything is tight with no leaks. Entrance door. The seals are tight, the glass is clean, and the hinges are tight and it's not worn. Steps and tread. It is clean and not worn. Handrails. Both are tight. Entrance lights. They are both on and clean. You and the other person will enter the bus. Turn the 4-ways off, turn the headlights off, and shut the door. Turn the key to accessory to power the bus for the next part. As you walk to the back of the bus, check that the seat backs and the seat bottoms are secured and tight. Make sure you press the No Student Left Behind button to avoid the alarm. Open the emergency rear door, see the light, and hear the buzzer. Roof exits, point at both of them, open one, see the light, and hear the buzzer. Exit windows, point at all four, open one of them, see the light, and hear the buzzer. Check that the driver's seat and the seat belt are tight and adjusted to you. The belt has no frays, it latches. Honk the horn. Windshield, it is clean and not cracked. Sun visor and student mirror, they are both clean and adjusted to me. Outside mirrors, point at all four, they are adjusted to me. Here, Bob is doing the safe start. He's going to check that the brake is still engaged, the knob is out, and that the transmission is still in neutral gear. He decides to turn the lights on for the next check. ABS light goes out. Turn key off again. Next is the ABS electrical check. With your hand on the key, tell the other person you're going to listen for each brake line to click twice. Turn key on.
Okay.
My ABS light went out. My ABS electrical test is complete. Then turn the key off again. Next is the chuff test. It is just like the electrical check, only with your foot on the brake.
Press and hold brake, turn key on. You'll hear 2 puffs of air each wheel.
My ABS light goes out. My chuff test is complete. Next is the air brake check. The first time we'll actually start the bus. Start the bus to build pressure. Tell the other person that the blow-off valve will sound at 120 psi. Turn the bus off, and without removing your hand, turn it right back on. Release the parking brake and watch the air pressure gauge. You will set pressure does not drop more than 2 pounds per square inch in 1 minute. The examiner will say when 1 minute is up. Bob then presses the brake and holds. Looking at the air gauge, my pressure does not drop more than 3 pounds per square inch in 1 minute. Again, the examiner will say when 1 minute is up. Begin to fan the brake pedal. Tell the examiner that the low pressure buzzer and the light will come on between 60 and 90 pounds per square inch.
Buzzer and light turn on.
Continue fanning the brake pedal. State that the parking brake will come on between 20 and 40 psi. Start the bus again, filling the tanks to 120 psi. While the bus is running, it is a good time to go over the driver's area and emergency equipment. Next is the gauge cluster check. Say that all are well lit and clean. Begin on the right and read to the left. Both air gauges are showing air increasing to 120 psi. I have enough fuel for the trip. Battery is charging between 12 and 14 volts. The speedometer will check later in the pre-check. The tachometer is working. The engine is at proper temperature. The engine oil pressure is between 50 and 60 psi. And we will check the DEF indicator if equipped. Next is the dash indicator check, checking the lights inside the dash. Note that the motor is still running, still building pressure. We'll check the left, the right indicator, and the four-way flasher. We'll check the brights too. We'll check the windshield wipers, that they work at all speeds, the washers wash, and there's no cuts or tears in the blades. Next, we have the control panel check. Simply read these to the observer as you check them. Up top, we have the left and right windshield fans. We'll check that these work at all speeds. We have the defroster, the stairwell, the driver, and the student heaters. We'll check that these all work at all speeds. We'll check the driver dome light and the passenger dome light. Also important are the student warning light indicators. Turn the master flasher switch on, seeing the light. Begin the amber student warning lights and look for the indicator. Open the door and see that the red student warning light indicator also lights. After closing the door, you must check the emergency override lights, tripping the red indicator again. Next is emergency equipment. We will simply point to first aid kits, body fluid cleanup kits, 3 emergency assistant cards, 5-pound fire extinguisher, 3 warning triangles, and 6 fusees or road flares. The bus is idling during the last 4 sections to recharge the air tanks. We will finish the service brake check now. With the parking brake still on, place the transmission in drive. Apply a little throttle. Then back to idle again. State the parking brake is in adjustment. Then, at idle and in drive, and with hands floating above the steering wheel, disengage parking brake. The bus rolls forward, then abruptly apply brakes and stop. Put the parking brake on and move gear to neutral. State, the bus did not pull to one side or the other. The brakes are in adjustment. I did not hear any unusual noises. My service brake check is complete. This is the order in which our district completes the air brake check. After the parking brake engages in between 20 and 40 psi in restarting the bus, our district chooses to go over the driver's area and emergency equipment while the bus idles to save time. If you forget to turn a bus back on, causing alarms not to sound, or you forget to disengage the brake and have it not pop back out, start this pre-check part over. You may have time to get it perfect. Again, you should be in neutral gear with the parking brake on. Turn the bus off, then switch to accessory. Invite the examiner to check directionals and amber student warning lights, as well as brake lights, reverse lights, and backup sirens. Ask for further instruction